guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a green halo eye, but before that we're gonna work on our face. Prior to filming, I already moisturized, so now I'm putting on my Porefessional primer. I'm just putting it over the areas I have pores and bumps on my face. So I like using a beauty blender or a beauty sponge to blend out my foundation because it's so much easier and it gives you that light, natural finish. Now I'm going into concealer. This is just my skin tone, which is medium, so I'm just using it not to highlight but to cover any extra blemishes or redness I have around my face. To ensure a seamless blend, make sure that you're bouncing your beauty sponge rather than rubbing, because rubbing will leave lines on your face that you don't want. Before going into cream contouring and highlighting, I'm going to set my face using this Fit Me powder. You want to set your face so that your foundation and concealer that you just applied won't move anywhere and your hard work won't go to waste. To cream contour, I'm going to use this concealer stick in a darker shade, and I wouldn't actually recommend this concealer stick. It was very hard to blend out, but if you have cream contour, then go ahead. If you don't, I really don't think this was a necessary step. It actually caked my face in makeup, to be completely honest. Maybe I didn't do it right. It was like my second time doing it and I'm just not very good at it. But you want to just contour or cream contour where you would normally contour using a powder, so that being the hollow of my cheeks, around the perimeter of my face, and my nose. Now, as opposed to cream contouring, I'm more familiar with cream highlighting because I always do this if you watch my videos. So I'll just be doing what I normally do, which is highlight underneath my eyes, the bridge of my nose, my forehead, chin, and just blend it out with that same beauty sponge. As I always say, after you've applied any creams or liquids, you want to set it with a powder. So here I'm just using my normal bronzer, which is the Physicians Formula, just to bronze the areas where we contoured, so our jawline, nose, forehead. And here I'm using the dark Soleil bronzer just on the outer edge of that bronzer on my cheek and nowhere else because it's a really dark shade. I'm just going to do a little bit of baking, not too much, so as you can tell I didn't really pack powder on my face, just to give it that light bakage. After I applied my bronzer and blush, I'm just going to go into this powder brush and dust away the baking we did. I'm going to use that excess powder to help blend out the bronzer and blush. Now, there was a time where I never highlighted my face, and I don't know how I did it because now I'm obsessed with it. So don't forget to highlight the high points of your cheeks, underneath your eyebrow, temple, cupid's bow, your nose, and just brush it out with that same powder brush to blend it all out. Now I'm just going to set my face and prime my eyes before we move on to the eyeshadow. Before anything, I just like to use an eyeshadow closest to my skin tone to set that primer we just applied. Going to our transitional shade, I'm just using Salted Caramel from the Chocolate Bar palette, and I'm just putting that into my crease using a small blending brush. To create the halo eye, I'm using this small blending brush. Basically, a halo eye is when you have eyeshadow on your outer and your inner corner, so as you can tell, I'm putting that shade right into the outer and inner and leaving the middle of my lid blank. You also want to connect that color lightly into your crease, and then you want to use a blending brush with no additional product to blend it all out. I'm going back into Salted Caramel just to touch up the crease area and then blend it out. For the start of the show, I'm using this beautiful shade called ISLA from the Self-Made palette, and I'm using Fix Plus to intensify that color. So I'm just packing that color onto my brush and then spraying the Fix Plus afterwards, and then using patting motions to pat that on. I'm also going into that smaller crease brush just to touch up the halo portion of the eye and to blend everything seamlessly together with no harsh lines. For liner today, I decided not to wing it out because I feel like whenever you wing out your liner, it's sort of the star of the show other than your eyeshadow, so I wanted to accentuate the halo eyeshadow. Now I'm curling my lashes, and I applied my lashes off camera because you know I suck at it. So now I'm working on my lower lash line. I'm basically going to use Salted Caramel, Gilded Ganache. I'm going to do that halo eye on the bottom, and then I'm using ISLA from the Self-Made palette just in the center of my lower lash line. Now I'm going into a pencil liner. You can use anything you have. I decided to go with a black. You can always use a brown. That works too. And then I'm going in with mascara on my top and bottom lashes. For lips, I decided to stay neutral, so here I'm using my Bow and Arrow by Kat Von D, which I've been dying to have my hands on, and I finally got it. And then I'm just topping it off with a lip liner just to intensify that lip. Well guys, that's the end of the tutorial. I really hope you learned something new. I want to thank you all for all the love and support you give on my videos. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!